Hey everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to some Heroes of the Storm. Today we're going to be taking a look at Abathur, one of the coolest heroes in the game, and yeah, in this video I'm going to give kind of a bit of an overview to his Symbiote build, his Symbiote playstyle, and some of the kind of the core aspects of playing Abathur and sort of the game mechanics that you need to understand in order to get the most out of him. It'd be pretty interesting. It's not a great quality game, so in terms of like the skill levels of both teams, they're not particularly high in this game. But on the plus side, this will also give me more freedom. I'm not the best Abathur in the world, so it gives me more freedom to... You're going to see me position very aggressively up lanes and stuff like that. And it's going to basically... somewhat the lack of the skill of the enemy team will somewhat compensate for my slight lack of skill on Abathur and allow me to show you some of the things that you would be able to do if you did a bit of practice on him and got kind of used to playing him, or you were playing him kind of regularly and you knew what you were doing. So yeah, right at the start, I think there's just a big old brawl. This is quite a brawly game as well. There are periods of the game where I kind of sit in hat mode for quite a long time because there's a lot of team fighting that goes on. But anyway, one of the core things you need to understand about Abathur to get the most out of him is the concept of soaking XP. I'm sure most of you know this already, but just to go over it again, I love this. They're not even pushing the wave, they're just going to push the towers. Alright. But basically, Abathur can... Normally, for most heroes, you absorb XP from minions. You only get XP from enemy minions that die if you have a hero near them. Now, this works for Abathur as well. So if Abathur himself is near minions when they die, it generates XP. However, additionally, if your symbiote is near minions, then it also generates XP when they die. So this gives you a lot of flexibility, and also the fact that you have a symbiote in the first place, it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of soaking XP and getting value around the map, and that's going to be a core part of how Abathur plays and what you're trying to do. So you'll see me doing this in a couple of different ways during this particular game. Way number one is, you know, let's say, for example, when the Immortals start and all the teams are in the middle, I'll be able to just slug my way down one of the lanes, sit in that lane and absorb the XP from the minions dying there with my body, my physical body, while I participate in what's happening around the map with my symbiote. Potentially I could sit in one lane soaking it with my body and then use the symbiote to soak up the other lane, or what have you. Potentially I could, you know, yeah, or I could move my body somewhere safe and use my symbiote to soak if needs be as well, if I feel like I'm in a lot of danger. So you can see at the start of the game in particular, you won't position yourself too aggressively up the lane. I would say right at this moment right here, you know, it's quite a crazy team fight. I'd say right here, right now, I could have probably dropped the symbiote. I was just being a little bit cautious because this team fight was kind of ongoing, but I could have dropped it, moved up into that top lane, started absorbing that XP. We missed out a few minions, like the 3 melee minions and the caster minion, which is a bit unfortunate. We're able to come up here now. I think they do rotate around to stop. Yeah, so Tassadar does arrive. But I could have moved up a little bit earlier and then just recast the symbiote and wouldn't have missed out on too much. But it would have got us a little bit of extra XP, so that's a bit of a min-max thing. So Tassadar kind of came, he arrived, pushed me back. I'm going to just start soaking that with the symbiote. And I was keeping an eye on the rest of the map as well. I noticed that we're kind of not doing too well here. Going to lay down some mines. Going to symbiote onto the Greymane to get as much damage as possible. This is to do with the talent build I've gone with, which is the symbiote build. Probably the most popular one right now. It combos especially well with Greymane. Level 1, I picked up... the thing that makes your spike burst, your W, in this better, I forget what it's called. I think it's pressurized glands, but it reduces the cooldown and increases the range of the W ability. Makes it much more useful, and it's going to synergize very well with a couple of the talents we're going to pick up later in this build. At level 4, I picked up Adrenal Overload. What this does, it's very cool, increases the attack speed of whoever has the symbiote on them by 25%. Now, obviously, Greymane has got crazy basic attack damage, and he's just going to shred through Immortals when we put that on him and start doing that sort of damage. You can see here also really weird split. Instead of going with the Immortal, with Sylvanas, the teams instead pushed his 4-man up top. It's really bizarre. This is a really bizarre game. As I said, not a particularly highly skilled game, I would say. But I mean, I guess we got a fort out of it, so it kind of worked anyway. It worked pretty much just as well. Anyway, I'm trying to stay near to this, but I'm being kind of cautious, and I'm trying to keep an eye on this bottom lane as well, where we've got a Gazlo YOLO pushing. So I think I'm going to tunnel down there. Also paying attention up here. Going to come in with the symbiote. Just help secure that kill. I think they would have got it anyway. Just being careful. Going to pick up Needle Spine here at level 7 as well. Probably the least important talent in this particular build. You can go for other stuff if you so wish. Stuff like you can pick up Mule. Mule works quite well. You could also get the slow and your Toxic Nest. You can do a lot of things. You got a lot of flexibility, I feel, in this tier. But Needle Spine's kind of nice. It's going to help me get rid of these Gazlo turrets for one, so that's certainly useful. There you go. I think the Gazlo's actually going to die. We hit him with the Needle Spine too. So Needle Spine actually, yep, picking up and killing the Gazlo too. Can't complain about that too much. But yeah, here, anyway, moved up into the lane. You can see I'm just sat right beside those minions. There we go. Going to push up even with my team even further, knowing we're not in too much danger. One of the things I'll do quite a lot is use mines to cover my retreat. And you can see, like, the enemy can, I think, even still see me, and I don't really care. There's a Murd in here. I don't really care. I'm just going to slug around a bit. There you go. Lilia's there. She actually soaked it up for me, and that's completely fine. Do have to be a little bit careful at this stage, I would say. But again, I can kind of sit here in the lane and just distract them. This also enables my my trait, my Locust, to do a bit more damage because they spawn closer to the actual fighting and so on. And yeah, this helps me get a bit more of a presence. The enemy team starts to push forward, so I'm going to run away. Now the Immortal phase is starting, so what I'm going to be looking to do here especially is to kind of position myself aggressively. I know that they've all come bottom, so I'm going to push up top. I need to be a little bit cautious, at least at the start of this, because again, I'm not sure where the enemy team is. Once things get a little bit more resolved, be able to go for it a bit more aggressively within that lane. Nice team fight though to start things off. I'm on top of the Greymane, improving his damage, trying to throw down what damage I can with my Qs as well. We do pick off the Murden, that's pretty good. Pick off the, not quite pick off the Uther, but we do quite a bit of damage. Can't complain too much about that. I'm just paying attention here. I want to make sure we wrap up this kill, this team fight, and we do. We get a quad kill. Can't complain about that. Right, I go down, coming down that lane. Gonna slug down the lane. Right, gonna absorb that top wave of minions with my body, and then absorb the bottom one with the Symbiote. And there we go. So I am keeping an eye, opening the scoreboard as well, just checking who was alive. I saw 4 people were dead. I wasn't sure what the 4 were. I think it was Uther survived, or someone not too important, maybe Muradin, I don't know. But basically the enemy team is respawning, so I kind of back it off. Swing down to bottom, kind of figuring they might rotate up top. Looks like they're actually coming into fight here, which is unusual. I'm actually going to use my ultimate evolution because my other ability was on cooldown. That's okay. I do what damage I can here. Kind of a bit chaotic right there. A bit chaotic. Again, kind of taken by surprise that the enemy went so aggressively there with 2 heroes. Like, kind of, it's just, that can be one of the tough things I find with these games, is that what both your allies and your enemies do can take you by surprise sometimes, and it can work out kind of badly. We do finish off the tower, so that's something. I'm going to push forward again, a little bit aggressively here. Again, once again, our team is doing a bizarre split push. They do not want to push with the Immortal with Sylvanas. I apparently haven't heard that's a thing. So, yeah, I'm kind of confused as to where I should go. I'm going to deep tunnel up here, actually arrive. In a somewhat risky position. Anyway, gonna Symbiote on top of her. The enemy team stop chasing Sylvanas and come for me, and yeah, Sonya arrives and just starts killing them, which is pretty cool. I'm just gonna stay here. Again, it's a little bit dangerous right now because I don't have my ultimate evolution to potentially escape. I don't have my deep tunnel to escape. I'm just gonna sit here. Again, have those locusts pushing in. Once again, I would have preferred to soak the opposite lane while my whole team pushed with the Immortal, but I'm just doing the best at what we got. Can't complain too much. Again, I'm just staying a little bit cautiously here because if the enemy team does start to dive us in strength and we get pushed off, I don't want to get just picked off kind of instantly. Nice work by Sonya though, going very deep. Looks like she's gonna die. Yeah, she's dead, but still, she's got a kill on the gas though. Can't complain about that. Soaking up some of this XP. I was hoping to maybe save Sylvanas, didn't quite manage it though, but Greymane has arrived. Lily with the hat on is now going to start wrecking face. Murden's coming for me, not too worried about that really. Gonna slug away. I'm going to use my ultimate evolution to escape. So it's got a very quick cast time, ultimate evolution. What it lets you do then is, well, your body disappears while you're in the clone. So it lets you do quite a lot of damage. And it also lets you escape from certain situations like that. So Murden well, I don't think he would have. He might have killed me though. He certainly would have put some pressure on me. And I was able to basically negate that essentially and do this. One thing I could be doing a bit more is using the mines to de-push lanes or to push minion waves. I'm not really doing that. Here I can see I'm a bit concerned again. So my team is up top, so I'm going to push in a little bit aggressively. Yep, there we go. They've used the Sundering on the Greymane. Tastar, as you can see, is coming for me. Sylvanas is there. So this was a bit awkward. I pushed in very aggressively. I die. I think my teammates might die as well. Yeah, they do die as well. So that kind of sucked. It's just one of those tough situations where I pushed in hard. Yeah, so there you go. I guess I kind of a mistake there, really, I would say. Being a bit too over eager. Kind of wasn't expecting it to go so badly in the top, but oh well. My teammates do kind of get a couple of kills, so that's not so bad. Okay, never mind, Lily's dead as well. Oh, I think Sylvanas is going to die too. Yeah, she's dead as well. Dang it. Oops. But yeah, that was one of those sort of awkward situations where we kind of split weirdly, and that even with me helping at top with the symbiote and stuff, we were still losing that team fight while they were also ganking me on my own with like 2 heroes, and Sylvanas was kind of running down bottom as well. It was just a little bit of an awkward situation. I think again you could do it a bit more fluidly, let's say, in a different game. But anyway, still, it's good to see, you know, some of the mistakes and that aggressive positioning being punished a little bit. Sonya calling for help, so I'm going to help her out. I'm going to finish this off pretty quickly. Again, I don't think she really needs to whirlwind. I would have just like basic attacked. Again, she's got the attack speed boost. I don't know what talents she has, to be fair, so who knows. Maybe she doesn't really have a good talent build, but doesn't really matter too much. Anyway, Greymane is top. I'd really like to see him starting the Immortal. Anyway, we picked up that weird tactical movements around the place. We catch this Tashdar way out of position, force walling basically himself, which is nice. Unfortunately, she misses the hook and I miss a needle spine, but we should still get this. Yep, down he goes. Very nice indeed. I'm just going to sit on Sonya probably for most of this fight. Don't need to use a clone. I'm going to save it, even though it has a short cooldown. I figured I'm doing enough damage as is, just sitting on top of Sonya, helping her out, empowering her attack speed, and just helping take this guy out. There we go. Not too bad. By the way, at level 13, I did pick up Soma Transference, which is going to heal whoever is wearing the hat whenever I hit heroes with the W. It's pretty useful. Finish him off with a Q, not too bad. You can see a little bit of heal there popped on Sonya. That was from me. And there you go. This Uther's going to die as well. Level 16, I will pick up... I actually don't know what this one is called, but it's basically the W talent that makes it slow people. So there you go. Gonna slap some stuff here in this lane. Gonna throw down a mine as well, just to ensure that we can push it in. I'm kind of sitting here, I didn't even get to see it. In Venom Spines, maybe? I don't know. Doesn't matter too much. Anyway, I'm on top of this Sonya, helping her out. If Thrall had not run there, I think he would have got the kill. But looks like Sonya is going to live with the Lily healing and myself backing her up a little bit too. Greymane is killing the Immortal by himself. That's pretty good. I'm soaking this up with my body. Just kind of checking out the minimap, trying to get a feel for how stuff is going, because it's been a pretty chaotic game. And again, it's just adjusting my expectations to what the teams are playing like in the game. That's always a bit of a challenge. One of the big challenges of Abathur. I would not recommend Abathur for Hero League, unless you're like duo queuing with a friend who's on the Greymane or something like that. He's the kind of hero that thrives when you know what to expect from your teammates, and also when you can like communicate over voice by your teammates, so they can ask for help quicker, they can warn you about stuff quicker, because you have to pay attention to a lot of stuff when you're doing this. You can see here, I kind of spotted this Uther was kind of out of position, well, sort of out of position, so I'm able to just clone a Greymane. Greymane clones are disgustingly strong, that's part of why he's so good. There we go, he's dead as well, can't complain too much. Everyone's dead pretty much. I think Tashdar just barely escaped there. Can't complain about that. Yeah, Greymane clones. Abathur Greymane, it's a pretty sick combination. You make him so much stronger with the symbiote, and then the Greymane clones are exceptionally hard to deal with. Greymane's biggest issue is that he is, you know, he's squishy basically. But the Abathur clone kind of negates that, 'cause it doesn't matter too much if it dies, so you can really suicide bomb, go deep and get a ton of damage out, and it's very hard to deal with it if 2 Greymanes jump on the same person. Never got to show you that in this game, but if it does happen, very hard to deal with. What else is important to cover with Abathur? Oh yeah, Hive Mind at level 20, didn't get that far, but if you do get to pick it, very powerful level 20, especially with this build. It basically just casts all of your symbiote abilities on a second target at like a fraction, like I think about half effectiveness, something like that, but still, or maybe it's just half damage, I don't quite know, but it's pressurized glance is level 1, adrenal overload, needle spine, alright, ultimate evolution, very important, soma transference, and yeah, envenom spikes, okay, gotcha. But yeah, Hive Mind, it massively increases your damage, your utility, and obviously it combos exceptionally well with this particular talent build. Abathur has several talent builds. I feel like this one at the moment is the best, particularly because, you know, Greymane is sort of in ascendance, works well at Murden, works well with a lot of heroes that are kind of pretty solid right now. And yeah, there you go. He also works well on bigger maps. You're most likely going to lose the game until level 10 until you get the clone, because you're not as good as another hero. It's kind of like, say, compare him to the Lost Vikings. Yeah, the Lost Vikings, it's like, basically, you're going to have an XP lead for the whole game. And with the Lost Vikings, the game plan is, well, all right, we're going to soak all the lanes. We're going to get this huge XP lead, even from kind of level 5 or something. even by that far, you should start generating a big XP lead. You'll be ahead in levels for the whole game. Then your team will be able to roam around, hopefully a talent tier up, and be able to win like these sort of 4v5 fights because you're kind of controlling the rest of the map. Abathur fits a sort of similar style. However, with Abathur, you're going to be behind for the early game. It's kind of like we just want to keep even in XP using his soaking and stuff. Want to delay like objectives, but not necessarily win them because we're not strong enough to win them, but just delay them to get as much value out of Abathur as possible. Keep that soak going so we stay at least even in terms of XP. And then as you get into the late game, he gets much more powerful. With the clone, extremely powerful, and then your talents later game to stack up really well, and the global presence just unlocks, as you saw. The further you go into the game, it's easier to make more use of that. So there you go, guys. Hopefully that's a little bit of an insight into Abathur and how he works. Do let me know as well what other heroes you want to see. I'm trying to cover heroes I haven't covered in a little while. Yeah, I guess give it a like if you liked it, and I'll see you all next time for more Here's the Storm. Bye bye.